Capsize, and this is Comin Up with City Folk Collective. We got the name Capsize just because whenever we first started, our guitarist was in the Navy, and we just wanted to do something with a nautical theme, and it's kind of a popular thing in our subgenre to do nautical shit or whatever. So at the time we just, I don't know, it just kind of got thrown out at the first band practice, and we didn't even really agree on it. It just stuck.
Everyone I know is changing. My life is rearranging. Please take me far from this place. Never return.
I ended up choosing the name for the EP right before we went into the studio. I felt it was just a really good title to represent the emotions that I was conveying in the lyrics for the 3 songs, and it pretty much just got it from, I was having a pretty big disconnect with my family at the time, and I just felt like I was burdening them straight up, and so I just separated myself, and shortly after that we went into the studio, and I just let it out. Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting way this EP ended up working out. We had all 3 of these songs written, and for well over a year, and we went to the studio in January of last year to go record them, but it ended up just not coming through. Just I don't know, something held up with that recording process, and we ended up not even finishing it. And shortly after that, everything with the band really slowed down, and we all kind of went our own ways, and I was touring with other bands and stuff like that. So we just ended up kind of falling flat for 6 or 7 months. But whenever I got home from a super long tour, I just came back with a lot of motivation to get this project going again. So we recorded 1 song that we just wrote in one day, the first band practice after I came back from this 2-month-long tour that I was on, and that was a single called Wait that we put out in October of last year. And right after we recorded that, we were oh damn, we should probably finish what we started at the beginning of this year. So we ended up going to the studio that we did the single at, which was a different studio than before, and knocked out these 3 old songs. We just recorded updated versions of them, and so we had Wait out for a couple months, and then once we had the final versions of these 3 songs, then we just shot a video and got it out, and then Anchors Aweigh Records was happy with that video as a single, and then picked us up and put out the EP. So Live a Bird and Die a Curse is actually 3 pretty old songs, but they ended up just not coming to surface until much later. But our single Wait is actually our newest song, but we're super happy. I mean, even though the timeline got kind of messed up, we're happy with all 4 songs, and people seem to be into them just as well. So we're still a super young band, so we don't really have a heavy amount of critique on either end of the spectrum. We don't get really much hate, but not a lot of praise either. Like I said, we're young, so this EP kind of just gave people a chance to know about us. So I guess as far as people being insanely into it or hating on it, we'll just have to wait until we have an actual full-length record. But I mean, so far it's been cool. We just did a month-long tour off of in support of the 7-inch, and plenty of people picked it up that had never heard us before that show or whatever. So I think that we definitely, I wouldn't say have gained a fan base, but have gained a lot of momentum and attention as a young band, and we're just gonna keep working super hard and try and turn the people that are interested into fans with a new record next year. with Anchors Aweigh Records, it just worked out like super well for all of us. Coincidentally, it was like the label that when we started the band, were like taking influence from heavily like their complete roster and stuff like that. And whenever we started the band, we just always talked about how cool it would be to like release something on Anchors Aweigh. This was 3 years ago, and it just seemed like completely unrealistic at the time, just because I don't know, like I guess we never thought it was gonna be this serious like from the start. But I ended up becoming friends with like members of some of the bands that are like on the roster online, and just talked to them. And then whenever we put out the music video for Fade to Grey, some of those people were into it and just like put in a good word for us to the label, and then yeah, they just picked us up. It's not like too crazy of a story. We pretty much just like followed through with our end on like making the product we were happy with, and Anchors Aweigh Records liked it enough to put it out, so that was it. And in a couple weeks we're gonna do a little short run with our friends in Brave Coast. It's like a hard-working band from here. And right after that we're gonna go over to Europe, and we're touring all over Europe, like Germany, Austria, I don't even know, like everywhere, and United Kingdom, with Being As an Ocean, who's also a really awesome, like hard-working band from right here in San Diego. We're super stoked that we get to do like these tours and like awesome things like with our friends from here in San Diego, like doing awesome stuff and like feeling success with your friends is a lot cooler than, you know, having a label send you out with random bands that you don't care about. So it's super awesome to get to like experience growing like as a band and traveling like everywhere like with your friends who are also have the same aspirations as you and stuff. And then I'm gonna be like on tour with Being As an Ocean after that, like on my own, pretty much like for almost the whole rest of the year. And then in December we're gonna tour out to Nashville, and we're recording 2 songs with this producer Brian Hood, who he worked on like Being As an Ocean's record, and he's like done stuff for Gideon and some other really cool bands too. So we're excited to finally work with someone that's like top level production, and I think that that's going to be a really good turning point for this band.